Good morning.
Kia ora.
Hi, I'm Emily from MD Outdoors, and this is Ruth Rogers. And I'm super excited today to have her here, and she's going to talk about the park run that happens at Neale Park. Mm-hmm. So you're the event director.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. So, and I don't know if anyone knows about it. It's a new initiative. Do you want to tell us a bit about what parkrun is?
Yeah, sure. So it's a new crew here in Nelson. We started in November, but parkrun itself is all around the world, and it started in 2004. And I actually love the origin story of it because it's a guy who's a really keen runner and he got injured and he still wanted to be able to connect in with his running mates. So he organised to time them to do a 5K loop of their local park.
Oh, awesome.
And then it grew and grew each week, and they made a little register system for it. And now, 20 years later, there's over 10 million people who participate in parkrun.
10 million?
Yeah.
And is it the same time in the world? Like, is it the run?
Slightly different times in different countries, but it's always on Saturday mornings. It's always 5K. It's always free, and there's over 2,500 different events around the country, around the world. And in Aotearoa, we were the 55th, and there's been a couple more since then. So there's like 56, 57 parkruns in New Zealand. Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah,
that's so awesome. So what time exactly is it? So it's a Saturday morning at Neale Park.
Yeah.
At
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Okay.
Every week.
And what should people expect?
Yeah, well, they should expect. It's called Park Run, but it's not just about running. It's we like to call it a 5K community event because you can walk it, you can run it, you can sprint it, you can do a little bit of everything. There's no need to kind of declare yourself to be a walker or a runner. Once you register, you do have to register online because you get a little barcode. Yeah. A little personalised barcode. But once you've registered once, you never have to do any admin again. So you could come once a year, you could come every week. You could just come to our one in Nelson. You could go to a different one every week if you're travelling around the country, but you have a little personalised barcode. Mm-hmm. You can put it on your watch, you can put it on your phone. So you rock up just before 8. We do a bit of a briefing every week because we really want to make sure that everyone knows what to expect, but we also love the opportunity to connect people in.
Yeah, awesome.
So when it's your first time at 10 to 8, we do a first timers briefing and we explain the course a little bit and we tell you what to expect when you come over the finish line, what you're going to do with your barcode, etc. Then we get the crew together 8 o'clock ish. If I'm doing the briefing, it's usually a bit yappy, so sometimes it's about after 8 just because I like to connect in a little bit.
Yeah.
We always welcome new people and love to hear where people have come from, and it's amazing. Every week there's people from other parts of the country, but people from around the world. On Saturday we had people there from Ireland and the States. There's often quite a few Aussies there, and then people travel from different locations around New Zealand. And then you do your 5K, and then when you come over the finish line you get a little token, and then you scan your barcode, and then you get a little ping email saying, hey, thanks so much for coming and this is your time. So some people love the stats of it. They love to get that little and it's a really cool system because it keeps track of all your stats anywhere around the world. And there's an app that you can use that it's you've done every letter of the alphabet, or you've done everyone in the country or whatever. So some, especially, I think it's why it's really worked that it started with the Brits, because they love that kind of thing. Yeah. And Kiwis are really getting on board with the idea of those sort of parts of it. So that's cool.
Awesome. And so who is it aimed at? Obviously, you've got lots of different levels of running. Yeah. People are at lots of different levels. Who's this aimed at?
It's for literally everyone, and it's not a cliche to say that. So at Neale Park, our youngest participant that we've had officially is 4. When you're 4, you can get a barcode, but we've got preschoolers that do it. And because we have parents that push in the pushchair, some of them walk a little bit too. So from literally pushchairs through to our oldest participant for us is 89, which is awesome. And the oldest park run in the world is actually a Kiwi in Whangarei, a guy called Colin, and he's 101.
Wow. So he's going along every Saturday.
I don't know if he goes every Saturday, but he was there on Saturday. I saw about it on Facebook. So it's literally for everyone. We have grandparents come with their grandkids. We have people recovering from surgery. We've got people, it's their first 5K. We've got ultra crew. Quite a few of the spectacle guys come down, which is awesome. Yeah. So we've got former Olympians. We've got kids. And to give you an idea of the timing, for us, we have people finishing around the 15-16 minute mark, which is really swift. And then right through, we've got people that take over an hour. And we are there for the whole thing. we have volunteers who walk at the back to make sure that everybody's like safe and all good. So I think that's really nice, because if you're somebody that thinks, oh man, I'd love to do something like that, but I don't know if I'd be last, well, you're never going to be last, because there's somebody who's volunteers to do that. So it's such a super friendly, supportive crew. And
so there's someone who sticks at the back.
Yeah, that's their volunteer role. Yeah,
that's nice though, to go to something and know
really
you're not
nice.
be
Yeah. And for me as the event director, it's awesome to know that there's people out on the course that are keeping an eye out for people, because that creates quite a safe environment too, in terms of, our course is really simple, so there's no way you get lost, but at other park runs, like in Hamner, it's quite a cool forest one, so it's also a safety element as well to have them.
So what inspired you? Because I know Ruth put a lot of, I remember you coming in when you first started, and you put a lot of work into getting this going. Like, you had a vision. What's like inspired you to kind of get it going? Like, what's the heart of it?
Well, at the heart of it is I love running, and I love running with people. So I definitely grew up in a home where running was a great, healthy activity. My mum always ran. She used to take us along to her running group on Saturday morning. So I got the feel for the fact that it's really nice to share it with other people. I like a lot of active hobbies. And we started going along to parkrun when we lived in the UK, and we're like, oh, this is quite a cool kind of a thing. Yeah. I enjoyed using it as part of my own run training, trying to going for timed runs. Yeah, cool. But I introduced my parents to parkrun, and they loved the community element of it. They loved volunteering, they loved visiting different parkruns. And so when we moved to Nelson in 2017, I was like, oh, this would be a perfect place to live if there was a parkrun. And so over the years I've kept in mind, like, oh, I'd be keen to get involved if somebody else starts it up. Yeah. And then nobody else was starting it up. And there's various reasons for that. There's already so many awesome things to do in the area, so it's not like we were lacking any other activities. And because you're part of a global franchise, really, so there were some elements of like particular ways you had to do it. Yeah. And we did struggle to find a really, the course was a little bit of a challenge, to find somewhere that suited the parkrun guidelines. But I really wanted to do it in terms of combining the people and the love of running. And my dad loved parkrun. He absolutely adored parkrun. It was a big part of his life, and he passed away earlier last year. And so it kind of gave me a little bit more fire in my belly. To go, okay, I keep waiting for somebody else to do it, but why not? Maybe I need to push on the door a little bit.
That's so cool. Yeah. I love that. I love it when you can always look at a problem and think, oh yeah, who's going to solve it? But you decided to like go, okay, I'll start it. Yeah. Yeah, go you. It's really cool. It's really cool. And what is your long-term vision for it? Like, what do you see? Yeah.
My long-term vision for Neale Park is building our community of volunteers. We've already had over 100 volunteers, which is incredible for quite a new event. We've been really blown away by how supportive the Nelson community is. Yeah. So continue to grow that. I would love there to be other parkruns in our area, and I think we've definitely got capacity for it, and I'd love to be part of connecting in and having a relationship with the crews that run other parkruns in the region. I think that would be quite cool. Yeah, cool. I'd love to start introducing to parkrun to part of our community that wouldn't consider themselves to be runners. So whether that's different young people or former refugees or just people who would think, oh, that's something for other people to do, because the runners are going to find you, and they have, which is amazing. Runners and walkers, people who already keep an eye out on like social media and look to see what activities are there, but people that wouldn't consider themselves to be runners, that's kind of it's a bit of a goal for me. Cool. Yeah, because it's so empowering. Yeah. And the fact that it's for everybody. You don't have to be a runner. You could start walking, and then you could run little sections, or you could build yourself up to being able to do it. And so we had someone a few weeks ago come to us afterwards, and they were so thrilled to tell us it was their first ever 5K. Yeah. And I was so cool. On such a high from that. So so that's
just seeing people achieve that goal. Yeah. And actually run like the whole way. That's so awesome. So is there anything you need, like, what do you need for the parkrun? Is it?
Well, now it's up and running, it kind of ticks along quite nicely. The really nice thing about it is it's the same every week, which is quite nice for people to know what to expect when they come. And it's quite nice from my perspective. Every week there's different people and there's different elements that we need to work out whether it's, the results have a few tweaks, or whether it's like on Saturday it was pouring with rain, and that always gives you a bit of fun. But really what I need is for people to come along and bring a mate, and to make it their own, use it as an opportunity to get active on a Saturday and connect with other people. Bring somebody who wouldn't necessarily think that they could do it. Bring your mother-in-law, bring your next door neighbour. We always meet for a coffee afterwards at Founders, and they open early in order to accommodate us. And so I really encourage people to come and have a coffee afterwards, because it's such a cool connection point where you can connect with a mate or meet a new person, but also we're supporting a local company, a local business who have changed their business hours in order to accommodate us. So we give away a Founders voucher every week, whether it's for like a milestone or a birthday, or to one of our volunteers, to try and encourage that community element of it, of connecting in afterwards. So
cool. It's so good. So inspired. And so like obviously, we love trail running and running here. Trail running mainly, but it's such a good initiative for the community, and doing anything for the community is so great. Just for other things for people that can go along to, that's healthy, and so go really. Thank you.
And nothing like a bit of speed work on a Saturday to help your tramping and trail running.
True,
So especially in the winter time, and even coming like every couple of months and pushing yourself a little bit to do a little bit of that tempo running can be really fantastic for your other
training, like just add it in as part of the routine. I love it. So that is that's Chicks and Tips for today, and thank you, Ruth, for coming
Thanks for having me.
And we'll put a link to like any information for Parkrun in the bio. We have a Facebook is where we do a lot of our comms in terms like if there was any changes or things people need to know, but the best way to find out about it is literally to Google Neale Park Parkrun. It comes up with our webpage, and that links people into where it is, what time it is, how they can register to get that free barcode, and kind of how the system works. And it also shows you where the other parkruns are around Aotearoa and around the world. So particularly if you're travelling, it's a really cool way of going to a free event somewhere in a city that you find yourself, and a really cool way to see a different part of New Zealand. If you didn't know anyone, you could just tune up at a parkrun.
And because they're the same every week, it's just like a really nice familiar format. So
awesome. All right. Well, that's us for today, and hope you all have a great Tuesday. And
Tuesday.
I know. and that's it. All right. See you.
Ka kite.
Bye.